Once upon a time, in Enugu State, there was a church that everybody knew. They called him the chosen son of God. But my people, the way he got the holy water and olive oil he gave them, it will make you cry. Living Spring Cathedral was the biggest church in the whole of Enugu State. People traveled from every corner of Nigeria just to attend one service. Pastor Chibuzo, the founder of the church, was loved by everybody. They called him Papa Miracle. His smile alone could convince anyone he was sent from heaven. Every Sunday, thousands gathered to hear him preach. He laid hands on the sick, and they rose up dancing. He touched blind eyes, and they opened. God is here, the people would shout during service. After every Sunday service, Papa Miracle would give his 15,000 members something he called living water. He told them it was for blessings and protection. The water was bottled and prayed over by the pastor himself. People took it home, sprinkling it, drinking it, bathing with it, even giving it to their sick loved ones. Nobody ever questioned what that water truly was. They trusted Pastor Chibuzo. Women who had barren wombs, they came and left pregnant. Men without jobs, they returned with promotions after sowing faith seed. Students, they drank the water and passed their exams. The testimonies were too many. Nobody had any reason to doubt Pastor Chibuzo. He was their prophet, their father in the Lord. But behind that gentle smile and that sweet voice, a dark secret was growing. And very soon, my people, that secret would be exposed. Pastor Chibuzo's wife, Ngozi, was a quiet woman, beautiful, humble, respectful. Everyone admired her, but few knew her pain. She had been married to the pastor for 15 years, yet she had no child. She prayed, she fasted, she went to hospitals, even traveled abroad. Still, her womb remained empty. Church members told her, "Mama, keep the faith." Her husband would smile at her and say, "God's time is the best." But deep inside, Ngozi was troubled. Her husband performed miracles for other women, but his miracles did not work for her. Still, she kept silent. Until one night, everything changed. There was a young assistant pastor named Emmanuel, humble, kind, full of fire for God. The members loved him. His preaching carried power, and soon people began to notice him. But Pastor Chibuzo grew jealous. He could not stand the thought of anyone outshining him. One evening, as Ngozi returned from night prayers, she heard strange noises from the church office. Slowly, she pushed the door open just a little. And what she saw made her heart stop. Her husband stood with a bloody knife in his hand, and on the floor lay Emmanuel, his throat slit open. She gasped aloud. Pastor Chibuzo turned sharply. Their eyes locked. "No, Ngozi, it's not what you think," he said, stepping towards her. Before she could run, he stabbed her. On the next Sunday service, Pastor Chibuzo told the church that her wife had died in her sleep. The church wailed. They mourned. They brought gifts. They cried for their papa's loss. But the man they thought was grieving was smiling inside. 2 weeks after her burial, the church grew bigger. He performed more miracles. More members flocked in daily. But nobody knew about the blood that was crying beneath the altar. Then came a woman who would change everything. Chidinma was 7 months pregnant when she first heard of Living Spring Cathedral. Her best friend Adeze had been attending the church for over a year, and she never stopped talking about Papa Chibuzo. "If Papa prays for you, your baby will come with blessings. My cousin went to him, and now her child sees visions." Chidinma only smiled politely. Her husband, Ifeyi, was a quiet man, a strong believer in God, but not in flashy churches. That night, she told him what Adeze had said.
"Chidinma, that man is not of God. I've heard strange things. Let's keep going to our small church. Our baby is already blessed." But Chidinma had already made up her mind. The next Sunday, she followed Adaeze to Living Spring Cathedral. That Sunday morning, the sun was hot and the roads were busy. Chidinma dressed carefully, her baby bump showing under her wrapper. Adaeze came to pick her, and together they walked into Living Spring Cathedral. The crowd was like a festival. Thousands of people singing, clapping, shouting "Papa, Papa" as Pastor Chibuzo entered with his bright smile. Chidinma felt something strange in her chest. She could not explain it. "Don't worry, my sister. Once Papa lays hands on you, you will never be the same again." The service went on with miracles, shouting, and testimonies. Then finally, the moment came. Pastor Chibuzo lifted his hands. "Bring the pregnant woman forward. God wants to bless her child." Chidinma froze. How did he know she was there? She had never spoken to him before. Adaeze nudged her, smiling with excitement. Slowly, Chidinma walked forward.
As she came close, Pastor Chibuzo's eyes shifted. For a moment, she thought she saw something dark behind that smile. He laid his hands on her stomach. The crowd shouted, "Papa, Papa, Papa miracle!" But inside her, the baby kicked violently. What is happening? That night, Chidinma could not sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Pastor Chibuzo's face and Emmanuel's lifeless body lying on the floor. Yes, my people, God began to show her what others could not see.
Over the next weeks, the visions became stronger. Chidinma saw blood dripping from the altar. She saw Pastor Chibuzo holding bottles of living water. But when she looked closely, it was not water, it was blood. She woke up crying. Her husband, Ifeyagi, begged her, "Stop going to that church." But Chidinma knew God was showing her something. One Sunday, she gathered courage and went again. During the service, while Papa was praying over the bottles of living water, Chidinma's eyes opened. She saw it clearly this time. Beneath the altar, the ground was soaked with the blood of Emmanuel and Ngozi, his wife. Their spirits were crying. Chidinma screamed in the middle of the church, "This is not living water. This is blood. Blood is crying here." The whole church froze. Pastor Chibuzo's smile disappeared. His eyes turned red with rage. "Silence that woman."
Ushers rushed toward Chidinma, but before they could touch her, a heavy wind swept through the church. The microphone sparked, the lights flickered, and then the voices came. "Papa Miracle, why did you shed our blood? Return my son. You used us for your water." The spirits of the forgotten ones had risen. The young usher who vanished one night. The widowed woman who never returned from special prayer. The traveler who had come seeking healing but was never seen again. And standing among them were Emmanuel and Ngozi, their faces pale, their eyes filled with sorrow, pointing straight at Pastor Chibuzo. The crowds murmured, rising fear. The members screamed. Some covered their eyes, others fell to the ground crying. The truth was out. Papa Miracle's miracles were bought with blood. "No, no, they are lying. They are demons." But it was too late. Police officers who had been tipped off by frightened workers stormed the church. They dragged him down from the altar as he shouted and struggled. "Blood, Pastor! Ritualists, you deceived us!" When they searched the underground store, they found the jars, bottles of blood, strange powders, and the belongings of those who had gone missing. Every testimony, every miracle had been paid for with his soul. That day, Living Spring Cathedral was sealed. Pastor Chibuzo was arrested before the eyes of his flock. Chidinma gave birth safely to her child, and she told everyone who asked, "Blessings come only from God, not from the blood of the innocent." And so, the man they once called the chosen son of God ended not with glory, but with shame.